all the speakers, but this this MA Spotlight is on our WEFMAX host committees and WEFMAX as in general, what it is and why MAs should be interested in it. So our official title is Exploring WEFMAX, Strengthening Water Communities Through Collaboration. So I will have this, we have a little agenda, we have several speakers, and we wanted to give the host cities some time to talk about their specific WEFMAX. But I will turn it over quickly to Lee, who's the WEFMAX committee chair, to talk about what WEFMAX is and why MAs should be interested in sending people. Lee, are you ready to?
Yeah, I'm great. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Tina, and thanks to the MA Spotlight Committee for allowing us to kind of focus on the amazing WEFMAX. If nobody's ever heard of that before, this is a great time to learn about it. The flyer that's in front of you is also on the website, and it has a bunch of links in it that I encourage everybody to explore. WEFMAX is technically a Water Environment Federation's member association exchange. That's what WEFMAX stands for. And last year we celebrated 50 years of WEFMAX, and so we're going into our 51st year, which is amazing. And so each year we have up to 3 locations that are chosen for in-person events. And the purpose of these events is to have a focused effort for members of member associations under WEF. Each region of the country, sometimes state, have their own member association under the Water Environment Federation to come together and share ideas, concepts, help with what they're trying to work through in terms of growing and expanding the learning within their member exchange and their association. And so we try to keep these throughout the geography, both in the states as well as our Canadian partners through this. And so every year we try to make sure we select locations that allow people from all regions of the country to readily attend. The programs are designed to take place over 3 days, allowing travel. So the first day is always a Wednesday, and it's more of an icebreaker in the afternoon, evening, with some exchange and networking, with the Thursday being the full day of the program that consists of everything from activities, brainstorming, member associations talking about and highlighting what they're doing. We have committees that come in and use activities with the members to gain understanding and ideas. It's meant to be very dynamic and learning hands-on. Then we have an event that evening. And
is that stuff
I'm sorry.
Frozen up there? No, we turned it on.
Is somebody talking? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Please mute your microphones, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I'm addressing. And then Friday is our wrap up, allowing Friday afternoon for people to travel back to their location. So it's intended to be over what is collectively almost 2 days, but hands-on and engaging. We also have an option for guests to accompany WEF members to these events, particularly for the networking and social exchange. We also always seem to host them in amazing locations that people want to visit. And so a lot of people extend their time with maybe family members or partners or friends through the weekend. And so we are able to secure some rates to some of our facilities that allow for that, allow for a discounted rate so you can kind of extend your fun. So we're very excited. In 2025, we have 3 amazing locations that are being hosted by just 3 fabulous host groups that you'll hear from in a second. Kicking it off in Oklahoma City, April 2nd to the 4th. We have our past speaker, Alexi Kendrick, and an amazing committee supporting her in hosting. So much to offer there that they're going to cover in a second. And then we venture to New England, Salem, and all the history there. I just get chills thinking about this one. I just love to go to Salem. April 30th to May 2nd. And New England, we is the host there, and they are doing a fabulous job creating a program. And then we end in California, in Palm Springs, woohoo, California. And unfortunately for our California colleagues, this region was not impacted by the recent fires. And our hearts and prayers go out to all those associated with California that may have been impacted. So these are our 3 locations this year. We will also have a virtual in late July and August to kind of capture all of this for those that can't attend in person. But space is limited for each location, so register early. And here are all the links. And now we'll start hearing some testimonials, and each host will talk about why theirs is the one to attend. I know I could make a decision if I had to. Thank you very much, and hope to see you all at WEFMAX 2025.
Thanks, Lee, for all that information. And I was going to go ahead and share my experience, and I guess also introduce myself because I forgot to in the beginning. But my name is Tina Sheikh Zainadin. I am the WEF delegate from Alabama. We call it OWEA, MA. And WEFMAX is very essential to my WEF story. I was not very involved in upper management or upper leadership in our MA until a couple of years ago. There was a WEFMAX in Charleston that was specifically geared towards YPs, and my MA decided to send me. And I feel like that was the butterfly effect or domino effect of that action contributing to me being a delegate now. So I got to go. I didn't know what WEFMAX was. And when I went, I feel like I learned so much. My eyes were so open. And I came back all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I got so much information, and it's so rare to be able to talk to other MAs in such a concentrated couple of days. And so just, not reinventing the wheel and learning about what worked at one MA was really, really good. And, an MA might think why, we can only afford to send 1 or 2 people, but I always think of it as I went, and I feel like the stuff I learned and the new programs I learned the other MAs were doing, I brought that back to my chapter, and that affected more than just me, one person. Also, I learned about the MA grant and at the WEFMAX, and so I wrote the grant to take 10 YPs and students to WEF Tech, and I received the grant. And so that was a direct effect of me going to WEFMAX, learning about the grants, and being able to, directly affect 10 people's water story by taking them to WEF Tech. And those students have a couple of them have since graduated, and they've stayed in the water industry, specifically in Alabama, which is great. The YPs have gotten more experience after, opened some doors after they went to WEF Tech. So always think about it. You are sending 1 or 2 people, but if those 1 or 2 people actively engage during the WEFMAX, they should be able to bring back ideas that affect several more people within your MA. And so I wrote an article that was in our MA's quarterly journal about the grant and me going to WEFMAX. And then at WEFMAX, if you're a first attendee, there's an option to have a mentor. So Glenn in the South Carolina MA was my mentor at the WEFMAX, my first WEFMAX, and he showed me around. He introduced me to so many people because it was intimidating. I did not know anybody when I went. So make sure, if you're going for the first time, make sure you explore that option. And if anyone has any questions, we can ask them right now or we can wait at the end. But that was my experience with my WEFMAX story.
That was a great story. I would say for I guess the flow of the webinar, we'll wait towards the end. That way the other presenters can also present as well.
Perfect.
All right, thank you.
So questions at the end. Next, I'm going to throw it to Sarah Ward, who's with the Utah MA, and they hosted WEFMAX this past year, and to talk about her experience doing that and what she gets out of the WEFMAXs. Sarah, are you on?
I am. Yep, I'm here. So thanks, Tina. So as Tina said, WEAU, that's how we say it in Utah, we hosted the WEFMAX May last year. Just to give you a little brief overview of WEAU, we're all a volunteer organization. We have no paid staff. So putting this on was all of us getting together. We had a committee put together. We worked together to get everything done. So we had 15 board members. Many of them were involved in the preparation and organization of our WEFMAX. And then we also utilized our young professionals. If you want to go to the next slide, Tina. So the next slide just shows some pictures of the WEFMAX. We had 71 people that came. We really liked the map that Dave implemented of showing where everybody was from. And then we had at our icebreaker, we utilized our young professionals to help with that. So there was a whole maze throughout the venue, finding different things. So that was really fun to get them involved and to see them to meet other people. And we also had a lot of our board members and many of our committee chairs were able to attend the WEFMAX because it was in our state. And they were able to have that, get more stories from others along the way. Some of our board members said just having the people involved gave them the leadership skills and gave them the opportunity to just participate and have those networking opportunities. If you want to go to the next slide, Tina. As you're preparing for WEFMAX, some of the important things to look at is how close is your venue to the airport, the venue size, like the hotel and the conference area, and just showcasing your local history and the uniqueness of your location, and obviously the off-season rates. We held ours in Park City. So we had, the historical factor of Park City. It's about an hour away from Salt Lake. Then one of the lessons we did learn is we try to save money. And so we did our own AV system. That didn't work so well for us. AV ended up just having to turn it off because it wasn't working very well. That was a big lesson we learned from that. Then we also had on our Thursday night, we had planned for the jumpers to jump off the ski jump and go into the pool. That didn't work out for us because of weather situation. The pool wasn't open yet. So we punted and had a backup plan to have everybody tour the Olympic Park, which was a lot of fun. They got to get in a van and go with the tour guide all the way up to the different locations. So that was fun to have people to have the whole adventure at the Olympic Park. So when you're planning your events, just make sure you have backup plans. So in case something doesn't work out weather-wise or, what other type of disasters that can happen for every location, and just be prepared to have those type of backup plans. Then the things is for any of a WEFMAX, just remember, it's all about the networking and having opportunities to talk with other MAs, get their experiences, and be able to grow the WEF family and throughout, so you can have contacts throughout. I remember the first WEF I went to was the same one that Tina went to, and I remember meeting her there. We even went on a walk together the last morning. We were there, going to see the pineapple in South Carolina. So that was really fun, and meeting great people along the way. There is one thing, I don't know if Lee mentioned it, WEF does provide a reimbursement to the host cities for certain expenses. So put that in mind when you go to your board and say, hey, let's put in for doing a WEFMAX. Remember, there's all these opportunities out there. If you ever have any questions, I'm always available. My information's on the next slide. You can contact me, or Lee's a great resource, and anybody else that's hosted a WEFMAX. So there you go. That's Utah's little spill. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Sarah, also, I was gonna point out with your WEFMAX that you hosted, you had a lot of operators there. And so I was gonna point out that WEFMAX is also for operators to network. So don't be afraid to send your operators to these events. I'm sure they got a lot out of attending the Utah WEFMAX.
They did. We do have a lot of operators even involved in our board too. So we encourage them to participate.
Perfect. We'll keep it moving. I'm going to throw it to our first host city, Oklahoma. Alexi, I don't know if Alexi's on.
I'm on.
Perfect, thank you. Are you ready to talk about why people should go to Oklahoma City's WEFMAX?
I am. Let me just make sure that this is all going to work. Someone explain to me how I get make sure the volume's going to work again. Let's see. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexi Kendrick. I am the past speaker for the House of Delegates and one of the past presidents for our Oklahoma WEA. We are very, very excited to be hosting WEFMAX this year. And it's going to take place in Oklahoma City. And we hope to see everyone there. Okay, let's see. There it is. Share sound. I was waiting for that to pop up. Okay, now we can all watch my video. And let me know if y'all have any questions. I'm happy to answer them after. Welcome to WEFMAX in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Water Environment Association is excited to partner with House of Delegates in hosting an amazing event focused on exchanging ideas and collaboration. Our event will take place in Oklahoma City from April 2nd to 4th, 2025. A little bit about our hosts. The Oklahoma Water Environment Association, or OWA, is Oklahoma's premier organization of water environment professionals. We are dedicated to improving Oklahoma's water environment through leadership, stewardship, collaboration, integrity, and passion. We are a diverse mix of engineers, operators, owners, and suppliers working together to secure Oklahoma's water future. Our WEFMAX event will take place in Oklahoma City. The city of Oklahoma City is the capital of Oklahoma and is home to amazing sights, culture, and entertainment. Nestled in the center of our great state, Oklahoma City was settled in 1889 during the historic land run. Since then, Oklahoma City has become a major metropolitan with a significant place in history and offers a friendly community, efficient transportation, cultural attractions, and outdoor activities. While you are visiting Oklahoma City, take advantage of the sites and visit the National Cowboys and Western Heritage Museum, the First Americans Museum, the Bricktown Entertainment District, the Myriad Botanical Gardens, and the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum, just to name a few. Oklahoma City combines friendliness and a wide range of activities, making it a fantastic place to visit. Our theme for this WEFMAX is building bonds, cultivating community and culture in member associations. Community and culture play crucial roles in organizations for several reasons: a sense of belonging, member retention, increased performance and innovation, a diverse and inclusive environment, aligned values and mission, and effective teamwork. Our sharing sessions will be based around this topic and how member associations can improve their community and culture. Wednesday, you will start your WEFMAX experience by checking into the historic Skirvin Hotel, which opened in 1911 and remains one of Oklahoma City's most luxurious hotels. You can enjoy fine dining, fitness, and other activities in a prime downtown location. The Skirvin is also rumored to be haunted, as all amazing historic hotels should be. It is just a short ride from the Will Rogers Airport and within walking distance to scrumptious restaurants and sites. Join us Wednesday evening for a social networking reception at the Skirvin Hotel and a performance from the Oklahoma Fancy Dancers. The Oklahoma Fancy Dancers are a renowned Native American dance troupe composed of powwow champions who are tribal members from various tribes. They wear award-winning colorful regalia that reflect their tribes and dances. Their performances are educational, entertaining, and showcase a variety of traditional dances and cultural information. They have traveled globally and earned a stellar reputation for excellence and authenticity. After their storytelling and dance performance, enjoy appetizers and drinks while you network and form new friendships. After spending the day in a collaborative and engaging environment, we will continue building bonds at the Thursday evening event, which is a dinner reception at Riversport, Oklahoma City. Riversport, Oklahoma City is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting outdoor recreation and healthy lifestyles through rowing, paddle sports, and other activities. Located in the Boathouse District, Riversport offers a variety of experiences for all ages. Key highlights include outdoor recreation, sports lessons and leagues, youth community programs, adventure activities, support for nonprofit initiatives, and Olympic training. Riversport OKC provides elite training facilities and coaching for Olympic and Paralympic athletes in rowing, canoeing, and kayaking. In fact, the canoe event will take place at Riversport for the 2028 Los Angeles Summer Olympics. In addition to dinner and cocktails at the UCO Boathouse location, our WEFMAX attendees will be able to receive a tour of the Whitewater Facility Pump House, which is part of Riversport Rapids. These are just a few highlights of the amazing WEFMAX in Oklahoma City. Get ready for an unforgettable experience building bonds, community, and culture. We cannot wait to welcome you to WEFMAX in Oklahoma City. Okay, so WEFMAX, April 2nd through 4th. I really hope to see everyone there. I apologize if my video seemed to lag a little bit on my end. I don't know if it did on your all's, but let me know if you have any questions. We are very, very excited to see you all there.
Thanks, Alexi. And I wanted to mention that registration for all these WEFMAXs is free for attendees. So if you guys have companies have offices in these areas or have clients or utilities nearby, make sure you even attend one day. You get a lot out of it. So registration is free. And it's open right now, as Lee said. Oh, for WEFMAX members, yes. Throwing it, Kelsey, do you have the Salem video? They are having their MA conference right now, so they can't be on themselves. But I will throw you to you, Kelsey, to play their video about their event.
All right, I'm going to put it on right now.
Perfect.
The New England Water Environment Association invites you to join us April 30th through May 2nd, 2025 for WEFMAX in historic Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem, a city of about 45,000 residents, is located only 15 miles from Boston. It's accessible by car, bus, train, or ferry. Salem is most famous for the 1692 witch trials and its Halloween haunted happenings. Over 1 million people visit this Halloween capital of the world each October to learn about the witch trials, enjoy fall in New England, and to learn about the city's rich history. Salem's maritime, architectural, and American literary history, as well as diversity and culture, is celebrated with dozens of unique museums and attractions. May in Salem offers mild temperatures and blooming flowers, making it the perfect time to enjoy the city's outdoor attractions, like the Salem Commons and many historic sites, including the Salem Witch Museum, the John Corwin House, Nathaniel Hawthorne's House of the Seven Gables, the Peabody Essex Museum, and the Salem Maritime National Historic Site at Derby Wharf. Visitors will also find no shortage of dining options at Salem's unrivaled restaurants and a variety of unique shops, especially in the downtown areas around the Essex Pedestrian Mall and Pickering Wharf. To put our guests at the center of it all, the Salem WEFMAX will be held at the historic Hawthorne Hotel. This is a 6-story colonial revival building, and it will actually be celebrating its 100th year anniversary in 2025 and is a proud member of the Historic Hotels of America. This hotel is located adjacent to the historic Salem Common, downtown, the waterfront, many historic attractions, and is also rumored to be haunted.
We look forward to welcoming you for 3 days of presentations, sharing member association successes and lessons learned while networking with your water industry colleagues from across the country and enjoying all that New England has to offer in the springtime. I look forward to seeing you there.
Perfect. Thank you. I know Salem is very close to Boston, so if you guys have your consultants have Boston offices or utilities, if you're a utility on here located in the area, make sure you check out that WEFMAX. It is in your backyard. Kelsey, do you have anything else to add for theirs?
No, I don't think I have anything else to add right now.
Perfect. And then our last WEFMAX, our last WEFMAX is California, and I believe Gary is on. Gary?
Yes. I'm sorry. I am on. I'm also wondering, is Jen Jones on?
Hey,
Phil?
everybody. Yes,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here.
All right, great, Jen.
Perfect.
You wanted to open up, or did you want me to work something here, Jen?
I would say, Gary, go on ahead. I can add in any color commentary once you're all set.
Okay, and Kelsey, do you have our little?
Yep, I do. I have it queued up and ready to go.
Okay, not yet, but anyway, welcome to California. We would like for everyone to at least consider California as being one of the WEFMAXs that you attend, prayerfully, and hopefully you can attend more than one, but California is definitely engaged. We are looking at what we consider cultivating or fostering a positive vibe for your MA in California. And that vibe is an acronym that means value, inclusion, belonging, and equity. Now, I'm going to step out on the edge here and let you guys know that I know in our current presidential administration, DEI and A, and all of those things are a little bit freaky for what's going on in our country right now. However, we do know that value and equity and belonging, as well as inclusion, are very, very important topics to any job that anyone would have. So with regards or without regards to DEI and A, it is still important for us to cultivate a positive vibe in our MAs, to engage people, to have them feel like they belong and want to be included. So we want you to come to Palm Springs. We know it's probably about, it's definitely close to the Palm Springs International Airport, but it's neighboring airports are within 30 to 45-minute drive, but you can definitely, and it's a real easy get to in terms of the venue of the facility. But we want you to come and connect. We want you to have a great time. We call it chill. We want you to come and connect, have a great time, involve yourselves in the exchange, learn something new, and then take that and live it in your MA. So that's kind of where we're at. Our attitude in terms of considering things to do. There's all kinds of museums. You can stroll downtown Palm Springs. I know on Thursday evenings they have like this walkabout on the actual downtown streets that will allow you to just do some shopping or some added restauranting, and for some of you foodies, it's all kind of great stuff out here for you. And some of you just may want to sunbathe by the pool. July in Palm Springs is not going to be 30 degrees. It's going to have a little weather for you and some great sun and great activity. So although I know Jen might jump in here, but although I do know that there are copyright concerns for our presentation, so we can't like put it out there, but it is nice to kind of show you the vibe that California has and welcoming you to the WEFMAX in California. Anything else, Jen?
Hey everyone, I just want to piggyback on Gary's comments and say that we are very excited to be hosting WEFMAX. I think Palm Springs is a beautiful location. Gary kind of commented, you know, it is city, it's desert. I think that there's a lot of unique water conversations that we can have in this particular location about conservation, reuse, but also in California, I think that our vibe is really inclusive and working to create environments that are welcoming to, you know, all of our variety of different members. So as a certifying body in the state, we have a lot of collection systems members, and we really ensure that there is something for everyone in the water industry at our events and that they are welcoming and inclusive. So as Gary mentioned, you know, DE&I might be triggering to some. However, I think creating a welcoming environment is something that CWA has been doing for over 100 years and will continue to do so going forward. So, Gary, we ready to hit the sizzle reel?
Let's rock it.
All right, let's go.
Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. Everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a...
So we want you to come to California. Come on out, y'all.
It's gonna be great. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thanks, y'all. That video is so good. All the videos are so good. But yes, so those are our 3 WEFMAX cities. Again, if you guys have an emerging YP, an operator who's on the cusp of wanting to get involved, or other members, make sure you check out the 3 WEFMAXs coming up this year and send them to one. They will get a lot out of it. Our last scheduled little fun thing is Lou. I don't know if Lou's on. Put together a really fun WEFMAX Jeopardy style information PowerPoint slides. Lou?
I'm on. So if you're waiting for me to talk, I'm on. So if you guys have not yet been convinced that you need to attend the WEFMAX, hopefully the next presentation will do it for you. So
I can share my screen, Lou. I have it.
Are you going to share it? Perfect. All right, so we're all familiar with Family Feud. We can go on to the next slide. So entertain me for the next couple of minutes on the House of Delegates member Spotlight Feud. Go to the next slide. I've asked 100 people why attend WEFMAX. And go to the next slide. And these are the top 5 responses. We can go over to number 1. Knowledge sharing. Next slide, please. At WEFMAX, you'll be able to hear people's or other MA's challenges. You'll hear some of the opportunities they've had and their key takeaways on the best practices that are shared from state to state. Go to the next slide. Number 2, inspiration and motivation. We've heard from our previous presenters today how motivating they can be. And I think when you need your batteries recharged, attending a WEFMAX is a great place to learn all these great new ideas and bring them back home. We go to the next slide. I just wanted to highlight last year in New England, Matt Wisniewski, his wife just had a baby, was several days old, and he came to the WEFMAX to present on the mentorship program that he started, and it was amazing. And this is the dedication of people that we have come and speak at WEFMAX. Go over to the next one. Number 3, staying ahead of the curve. We go to the next slide. There's an excellent presentation that I saw last year on engaging and developing the next generation. If you're looking to see maybe what additional things your member association can do, WEFMAX is a great place to hear what other MAs are doing across the country. And by the way, I'm from Illinois, and we had the opportunity to present at WEFMAX last year, and it was great knowledge sharing. But I tell you, we gained more from attending and hearing everyone else's presentations, and hopefully people, also got that from us. Go to the next slide. Number 4, building community and networking. Next slide. I always hear everybody knows each other, or, and I've been in WEF for a long time, and I feel like I still don't know everybody. And so I love coming to meet new people and getting new experiences, sharing experiences. And so this is the WEFMAX that was in New England, or not New England. Where was it last year? It was in somebody will help me with where it was.
Old Town Alexandria, Virginia.
Alexandria, exactly, in Alexandria. And you can see that people came from all over the country to attend and share their knowledge and to gain insights. So it's an awesome, awesome place to network. And finally, you can go to the next one, that's fine. And the 5th reason, the visiting host cities hospitality. Each MA that hosts a WEFMAX brings you the best of the city that they're hosting in. And so, for instance, at the WEFMAX that I attended last year, we had a dinner cruise on the Potomac River. Alex Renew had just completed their stormwater tunnel. And let me tell you, I built tunnels in Chicago for our agency, and we don't let anyone go into our tunnels. And that they brought the group from WEFMAX into their newly built tunnel was amazing. So we all got to see that. What an awesome experience. But then networking here, we have some Canadians, we have me from Illinois, we have some people from Indiana. Just you meet people, new friends. We spend a night out in the town. I can't tell you the number of bars that we close because what happens out of town stays out of town. But we had such a great time, and those lasting friendships help us to continue to grow and continue to share the best of what we have here in WEF. And hopefully that's inspired you to attend a WEFMAX. Someone asked in the comments, I thought, if we could share the presentation, and you guys have that up at WEF. If you can push that out, there's no copyright there, so you can share that out.
Chelsea, I'll send it to you.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lou. That was so such a creative way to show all of your experiences and why people should go to the WEFMAX. So just to recap, before we open it up to questions and comments from everybody, send your MA members to WEFMAX. I know it's a lot of money to spend on 1 or 2 people, but if they engage at these WEFMAXs, they'll bring that back over and over again and affect a lot more people than 1 or 2. Send your emerging leaders, send your operators. What Sarah talked on is like, if you're a small MA, you're interested in hosting, that's not out of the realm of possibilities. So if you're an MA and you want to host one of these, Put your name in the hat, and these locations are so cool. Each location has different water problems. I know at the one I went to Charleston, it was so interesting to hear about their tunnels. So make sure you learn about the history in each one of the cities. And then registration is free for WEF members. Even if you're can go for one day, if it's nearby, try to stop by. And I guess with that, James, did you have anything else before we open up to questions?
Well, I guess one thing I want to thank you, Tina, for putting together a great webinar for us. I also want to thank all of your speakers, and forgive me if I leave anybody out, but Lee, Alexi, Sarah, Gary, Jen, and Lou, thank all of you as well. And for that, I guess we'll open up for questions. If you want to put your questions in the chat, that will be great. What I can do is just read those questions off, and whoever is applicable to answer that, we'll let that go from there. And one question I'd like to start off with, I saw this in the chat earlier, and anyone of the presenters that presented today, feel free to answer this. But if someone is interested in hosting a WEFMAX, their MA particularly, what should their initial budget look like for doing so?
I'll take that. Don't worry about your budget. Okay. Worry about your desire. We want to see, we're setting 3 years from now. We've got a few blocks here and there. There's even talk about adding in a fourth. Hasn't been secured yet, but we're talking about having a fourth location each year. Think about you as a host. What would you bring to other attendees, right? How can you share with other MAs? Because other members of MAs will come to your event and want to learn. So we're always looking for proposals that really highlight, I think we should host a WEFMAX. And so there is a base budget that is based on a cap of a number of attendees, right? So most WEFMAXs are somewhere between 50 and 70. We've reached in excess of that. A lot of that is geared towards keeping a smaller group, but also the venues sometimes have some limitations. So we've had venues for locations where it was like, okay, we can't, for fire safety and so forth, we can't have any more than 80 people. And so we have to stop and cap registration. Some places it's gone up to 100 plus. But we do try to keep a reasonable number so that it truly is an exchange and is manageable and everybody feels involved and engaged. So that $20,000 base is where we start. And then it's really to cover the venue, any media, food and beverage, and so forth for the location. Anything off-site, particularly at the networking events and travel, is covered by the MA, and specifically by sponsorships, typically. So it doesn't, Oklahoma's doing it, they're a small MA. They have all volunteers, right? And then we have, California's really large, but California still has to find sponsorships and the cost in each location. And so we work with you collectively. So don't worry about that too much. Worry about the passion and your desire to host, please.
Thank you. And let's see, I don't see any other questions.
Sorry, I have a question, Leigh, talking about this topic. I don't know if it will be possible. Right now, we don't have we are not there like in organizing such a big event as WEFMAX here. But would it be possible to maybe organize in a few years a WEFMAX outside the U.S. here in Mexico? Could be.
Yes, we do. Every other year we host in Canada already. And so we're open to that discussion. There's some logistics to work through there, Inez, but we've had very successful, thanks to my predecessor, Dave Galbraith, and all of his leadership and roles over the years as a WEFMAX committee member and chair. The Canadian delegation actually comes to the States every other year and has one of their meetings at one of our events. They're going to be coming to California. And we also have a WEFMAX event that we've been doing in Canada every other year. So that has been on our horizon, and as we could definitely talk about that. Key things to remember when you're starting to think about hosting is, proximity for travel, right? So if you can't drive to you, how close are you to an airport, the location you choose for your venue? And then, how can you accommodate, in your case, language barriers? So we would work through that as well. So yes, you're on our radar, and we're happy to have that discussion further.
Any other
Thank
questions?
you.
I was gonna also say, if your MA is not in the place financially to send people, look at the MA WEF grant. You can request funding to send people to WEFMAX. So I couldn't find the link quickly for the grant applications, but
There's scholarship applications, right, Kelsey?
Yeah, so there are scholarship applications for delegate at large. Those have closed. There is also the MA grant program. The deadline for that was in the beginning of January. So round 1 has closed. Round 2 will be opening shortly. So there is a possibility, if there is an MA still looking for funding and wanting to send someone to WEFMAX, applying for round 2 wouldn't really work because the deadline's in June. So
yeah, I was going to say that's not till June, so it
yeah,
wouldn't
that's
be in
not till
time.
June. So yeah, so unfortunately, that's probably not a good or viable option for this year, but something to keep in mind for future years for sure.
for 2026, yeah.
Yeah, for 2026. Yep.
I guess another question I may have is, how far out should a MA look to, or for planning purposes, to host a WEFMAX? Should it be 2 years, 3 years, or 1 year, or how should an MA go about doing that?
We typically like to be at least 2 years ahead of the schedule. And we do sometimes have gaps to fill. Occasionally MA finds they can't host, and so that's not common, but yeah, a minimum. So if you're looking into the future, definitely minimum 2 years. We've pretty much set 26 and 27. But like I said, we are always looking at evaluating that. We're trying to keep the geography location diverse, as well as ensuring that we are allowing every size of MA, to participate. So we really want to make sure we cover that.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Again, you can either ask them or put them in the chat.
Yeah, Dave Galbraith just brought up that the WEF website, if you search WEFMAX, there is a lot of historical information there that you can navigate through, and may answer a lot of questions, but I'm always available. I'll put my information in the chat and drop me a note, and if I can't answer it, I'll put you in touch with somebody that can. Hey, Stephanie, you've got a state question?
No, sorry, that was an accident.
Okay.
We do have a question in the chat. Is how do you apply to host a WEFMAX?
So it's not necessarily a formal process. To my understanding, Kelsey, tell me if I'm wrong. It's basically sending a proposal, in this case, to me as WEF committee chair, WEFMAX committee chair right now. But it can also go to WEF as well. If you are a host and have a concept, we just want to hear some ideas about where you're thinking, why you're thinking of hosting, what benefits we could gain. We've got a lot of historical information on that as well on the website. Kelsey, anything to add?
Yeah, so I would say if you're interested, please send a note to myself and Steve Hamai at WEF, as well as Lee as WEFMAX chair. We don't have a formal process in place right now, but that is something that we're looking at doing, is making it a more formalized process, just to make it a little bit more streamlined on our end, as well as the MA's end as well. So as of right now, that's the process, but more information to come on how that process will look moving forward.
All right, thank you.
It's a great way to highlight your MA if you. Sorry, James.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. I don't see any other questions. Again, I want to thank the presenters who gave an awesome presentation on their respective MAs and their experiences in their previous WEFMAX encounters, and also for the soon-to-be host MAs that are hosting the WEFMAXs in 2025. We thank you for your presentations. They were very informative, very inspiring. As I'm hoping that most of the folks that are on this, that were on the webinar today, have already registered, but if not, this gives them the extra motivation to go ahead and register for any of the upcoming WEFMAXs this coming year. So that being said, if anyone doesn't have any questions, Kelsey, do you have anything to add, I guess, before we wrap up?
No, nothing from me. Thank you everyone for attending today. It was great to see such a good turnout at this webinar, and I hope to see, I'll be at the Salem and Oklahoma City WEFMAX, so hope to see many of you at those meetings.
And thank you, Kelsey. And one last thing, we hope to see everyone for the next webinar that we'll be hosting in February. So information will be coming out regarding that as well.
Yeah, I can do a quick plug for that too as well, James. So that should be on everyone's calendar. If you don't have it, please drop me a note. But that will be hold on a minute. I know I sent it out. Oh yeah, okay, so it's February 18th, Tuesday, February 18th from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's Level Up YP and Ops Challenge Success. And we're gonna hear from the WEA of Utah again. So hope to see you all there for our February webinar. And just a reminder that these are all recorded. So if you are not able to attend, or if you want to look back at it later or want to share it with friends or colleagues, they're available on the WEF YouTube channel after each webinar.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. And I guess with that, we'll wrap up. Giving everyone back 5 minutes of their life. Thank everyone again. Thank you again, Tina, for everything you've done to put this together. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all later.
Thank you,
Great job.
everyone.
Thank you.